have the DBA certificate, or am I missing something?
No, we never had it.
Oh, it says it was
I know,
enclosed,
they
yeah,
did it.
that's
but
why,
They did it, but they didn't go through us. They didn't do it.
That would be filed with the clerk's office, so my guess is the attorney last time was unaware of it, otherwise he would have brought it up.
right, but in the letter, it says it's attached here too.
Oh, I see.
There's 3 bullets.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you're not making too much. They're saying that they're doing business as Eclipse Tile and Wood, but on the menu they're advertising themselves as Eclipse Lounge and Wood. folks ready? Jim, you ready? Ready?
There you go.
Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Chairperson Barton,
Present.
Member Funes,
Present.
Member Phelps,
Present.
Lieutenant Reddy,
Present.
Attorney Lamanna. Present.
All right. We definitely have a quorum. Everyone's present. Okay. First on our agenda, we have a continued discussion going on regarding the Eclipse Bar and Grill.
Or Lounge and Grill, depending on what we read
Lounge
today.
and Grill, right.
So I will call it.
It's not the
2012.
nightclub, right.
John Cannell.
This Attorney Cannell, James Lamanna, and the Lynn License Board on the matter of 47 Central Square, Eclipse, continued change of manager.
Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Chairperson Patricia Barton. Could you please state your name for the record and also who else is there in attendance with you?
My name is Attorney John Connell for the licensee. I have here the two co-owners, Ferdy Gura and Joanna Rua, and I have the proposed manager of record, Hector Torres.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have received a copy of your menu and the two letters of recommendation for the proposed manager of record. We do not have the certificate renaming the establishment. Do you, by any chance, have that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
We do not have in our possession the certificate of doing business as the Eclipse Bar and Grill, your name change.
I sent one email that it wasn't attached, and then I sent the second email right after with the DBA certificate attached.
Okay, you sent it to the clerk's,
want me to-
you sent
I
it
can
to the
resend
clerk's
it.
office?
I'm sorry?
You sent that to the clerk's office?
I sent it to Debbie Ginnivan and Jim Lamont.
I can confirm that.
Okay.
It went to Debbie and I was CC'd on it.
Okay.
It was a notation, I'm sorry it wasn't attached.
Okay,
And I didn't open it.
Okay.
But I'm sure that, based on that representation from my brother, that is correct.
okay. So now the name of the establishment is the Eclipse Bar and Grill, correct? Attorney O'Connell?
Yes.
Okay,
The
Connell,
DBA's
I'm
been
sorry.
changed. In fact, it's been that way for a while, and I think I was in error referring it to as Eclipse Nightclub.
Nightclub, correct. Okay, and now I notice on the menu that you've sent in, you are referring to the establishment as the Eclipse Lounge and Grill.
Yes, hold on. Let me just grab the menu.
Yep.
That's what it says, yes.
Right, but it should read the Eclipse Bar and Grill.
Yeah. That's correct, Ferdy? Right. Yes. When was this menu? Was it done recently? 3 months ago, we can correct and change lounge to bar.
Correct. Bar and grill.
The entire premise, I'm told, has been converted from what used to look like a nightclub, couches, dance floor, to you would go in there and it looks like a restaurant.
Okay. Good. All right, and as far as Mr. Torres's letters of recommendation, we are in receipt of 2 from his former employees, and they do state that he was a good employee. So thank you for that.
Well,
All right, now you say that, sorry, I guess, first of all, the first thing we should probably do is look at Hector, and should we approve him as the manager? Anyone have any questions regarding?
I don't.
I read all his information. No, I do not have a question.
Okay. Then, before we vote on whether or not to appoint, approve Mr. Torres as the manager, we just want to know from our last meeting, who also will be in charge of the day-to-day operations when Mr. Torres is not available?
let me put Ferdy, we've been discussing this. Let me put Ferdy on the phone.
Thank
and
you.
He can tell you how it's going to be managed. All right?
Thank you, thank you.
All right, hold on.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Freddie. Basically, what we're going to do is going to work with Hector. We're going to split the shift.
Mm-hmm.
But, if he comes in the morning, the next day he will cover the afternoon. So that's how we're going to work for now. And also, we are looking to hire an assistant manager.
Okay,
But for now, it's just going to be between me and Hector.
okay, so you're back for good?
Sorry, what was that?
So that means you're back here for good, to be at the establishment? Okay, good. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any other issues regarding?
No, is he going to be there all the time? Mr. Torres?
I'm sorry?
Is Mr. Torres still on the phone?
That was,
Yes. It's very, very difficult to hear you, but I have here Hector Torres.
Okay, is he going to be there all the time, or is he going to be certain days as the manager?
The question essentially is, what will be the breakdown for days and hours of Mr. Torres and the proposed manager if approved? Has that been established?
I don't think we've established his schedule yet, but are you going to work more than 40 hours?
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah. Mr. Torres is available to work pretty much as we need him. He's committed to 40 hours, and he wants to work more hours than that, but we don't have his schedule down just yet.
and they did state when Mr. Torres isn't there, that the other
Okay.
owner.
Okay, that was my question, thank
Yes.
you. So either one will be there at all
Right.
times, okay.
Right. Okay. So I think what we need is a motion to accept Mr. Torres as the manager.
I'll make a motion that we do accept him as manager, Mr. Torres.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Let you know, and I understand it's difficult to hear, that the motion for the change of manager was unanimously approved by the board.
Okay, great.
I believe that the inquiry does not end there.
No.
So if you could, we move on to where the commission wants to go next with respect to the Eclipse
Right.
Bar and Grill.
Okay. Anybody have any concerns they'd like to voice now, or?
I do. This is Commissioner Phelps. The only thing that I would suggest is that we move forward, because he's had a good faith effort in providing us what we requested on a temporary basis, and come back to the board maybe in 3 months, 3 months, and we can check to see how everything is going.
Okay. Do we shorten their hours, or do we let them have, what's your pleasure? Do we want to roll back their hours, that they have to close at, say, 11 o'clock?
I would go for that, only because they have to serve food as long as they're open, and
Exactly.
not too many people are going to be eating after 11 anyway, so it would be a good time for them to get acclimated to the new schedules.
And again, understanding the difficulty hearing in the chamber with the echoes, Commissioner Phelps has made a motion that's on the table, has not been seconded as of yet, for a trial period with a closing at 11, as this is, you've demonstrated a good faith effort to operate a restaurant as opposed to a nightclub, with a comeback period 3 months from now, for possibly extending those hours beyond the 11 o'clock hour, to evaluate how you folks go.
You've heard the motion. Do you have
I
a
would be
second?
opposed to a motion for rollback. We weren't notified that we've done anything wrong. There's no reason to have a rollback. There's no notice or anything like that. I would suggest respectfully that the nightclub, or the restaurant now, which has been closed for many, many months, be allowed to operate at its approved and existing hours. And then, which is probably a better way to test their management. And in 3 months, if you want to have somebody wants to provide us notice of a potential rollback, we could address it then. But I think you would want to see how they do perform after 11. And, we're still in the COVID environment, so it's tempered anyway. But I would very much object to essentially a sanction for not having done anything wrong.
Attorney Connell, with all due respect, we're here because they have done wrong in the past. And they must realize that they are on their last leg, because if there are any other violations, we would definitely be seeking a revocation of their license.
Well, I inherited this case from another lawyer, and my understanding was that whatever had happened in the past whatever violation notices or police reports there were had been adjudicated. I didn't understand there was anything pending against them. And I understand, and they very well understand, that they're on probation with the city, as you put it, on their last legs.
Mm-hmm.
But, they've been closed for a long time. They're looking to, salvage this business. They're not the only restaurants out there that are suffering. So I would like to think, now that I've been talking with them over the last 4 months on this application, that they are going to make a concerted effort to make the city of Lynn very happy and very proud. So I would, again, respectfully suggest that if issues arise in the management after this, then the city will act appropriately, and then we can have that hearing.
Just maybe for some edification, I'm not aware of any restaurants in Lynn during COVID that are staying open to 1 o'clock, and there has been a progressive discipline that has gone up to the 30 days. There was discussion about a possible revocation based upon a non-approved manager essentially running the business since December of 2019 to the present. Given your lack of experience running a restaurant, given the fact that there are no other, and a reputation as a nightclub, given the newness of your restaurant, operating a restaurant, it would seem to me common sense may dictate that you'd want to voluntarily give your clients a chance to survive, because any violation, in all likelihood, per our progressive discipline, would be a revocation. I don't know, if they've never been in the restaurant business, I don't know what they envision will happen between 10 to 1. I might respectfully suggest whatever happens between 10 and 1, in all likelihood, could lead to a revocation. That's something to consider. I agree that there has not been a formal revocation notice today or a rollback notice. That I think you're your clients are setting themselves up to fail with all due respect. I don't know the rest of the commission, how they feel, but restaurants in Lynn typically closing at 9 or 10. If you're the only game in town with a reputation of being a nightclub, whether you have one manager or two managers on site, we want you to succeed. That this commission has gone bent over backwards during COVID. Previously approved outdoor dining for your facility. So my experience with this commission is that they do not want to set anyone up to fail.
I appreciate that. Would it be okay if I have a moment to speak with the clients to make sure they understand what the suggestion is? And if you just give me 60 seconds, I'll be back on this phone.
Thanks.
All right. I'll be 1 minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think they're in good position right now to accept the 11 o'clock. I mean, regardless of what happens, they're not the only ones saying. And you're going out to eat. You're not going to wait too long.
Build your reputation. If you do that over the next few months, then you come back here and there shouldn't be an issue. And hopefully the restrictions will be different.
Also, the governor has been very faithful to allow until 1 o'clock.
You hung up?
Hello?
I apologize, Attorney Cadell. I'm pinch hitting here as secretary/attorney, so I believe I hit a wrong button. So no, we're not rushing. I just lost connection. So I didn't want you to come back to the call and in a ringtone and think, yep.
I had just come back into the conference room, and the phone was ringing. So I've spoken with the client, and they will accept a rollback for the next 3 months as a condition on their license. And they are very anxious to prove themselves as a restaurant, and something that the city of Lynn will be happy with. So
Okay.
I don't know if that resolves everything, but we will agree with that.
Okay. Thank you. Then I guess we can entertain a motion.
I will
to-
second her motion.
All right. The motion has been made and seconded. All in favor of allowing the Eclipse Bar and Grill to reopen with their hours until 11 p.m. for 3 months, and then they can come back before us to
Extend it to 1 o'clock.
establish the regular hours. All in favor?
Aye.
So Attorney Cannell, that it was unanimously approved for you folks to open as a restaurant to 11 o'clock 7 days a week, and a return date, April, May, return date in June, with an eye toward possibly expanding that, and with an announcement from your clients that it's been a successful 3 months reopen.
All right. Is there anything we need to do as far as reopening other than this?
Are your fees are paid, license up to date?
Right, as long as the clerk's office will just check to make sure that all the taxes are paid and they're up to date, and there'll be a license issued on Thursday with the city clerk's office. Well, today's Thursday, yeah, so
Make it Monday, maybe Deb will be back by Monday.
our secretary, clerk will be back on Monday, so you folks will be open on Monday, usually turning around in 48 hours, and we don't usually meet on Thursday, so it will be Monday, the license will be available to be picked up, and City Hall will be open, reopening on Monday to the general public.
All right, great. Anything else?
That's it, I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
Good
luck.
Luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lamana.
Thank you.
And hopefully we will not be meeting again anytime soon.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Okay, all right. Okay, and then we have a change of manager for the Lynn Yacht Club. Looks like everything's in order there, so. Who are they looking to see? It's, Barry Cohen. Who do they want to be the change? Carol Thorstenstein. Have you had a chance to look through the application for change of manager?
Yes.
Okay, everything looked in order. Do we have to call them, or can we just approve it?
If there's no questions, I do have a number, it looks like a landline, so if there are no questions.
Anybody have any problems with this? Any
I do not.
I have none.
concerns? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the change of manager for the yacht club.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the change of manager for the Lynn Yacht Club.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Okay, and then we have 56 Central Square, Phoenix, Belmont, doing business as Phoenix Kitchens. They're looking for a new all-alcohol beverages license as a common vicula. Is this establishment open now? They there now?
Don't believe so, it doesn't
I
ring a
don't
bell.
think anything is
I've
there.
never heard of it. Never heard of it.
I believe it's where the Gula Gula used to be.
Yes.
We're what?
Exactly where it is.
Where is it?
The Gula Gula? Remember the little
Right on the
coffee
corner?
shop?
Oh, right on the
Right on
corner.
the corner.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah,
that's where
yeah.
I believe it
Oh,
is,
okay.
yep. I know that's where it is.
Uh-huh,
Very small. How many people?
yeah.
48.
48.
Hmm. It's gonna be a little restaurant. Hmm. Anybody have any questions regarding it?
Yeah, I probably want to ask them, it's just 48.
Yeah, so these, so,
That's
manage-
seating capacity, what about the employers?
I can try, I do have a number.
okay.
This is 400 square feet.
Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Lynn License Commission? How you doing this, the Lynn License Commission? We're here acting upon or reviewing your application for a new all-alcohol license in Common Vic for 56 Central Square. I believe some of the members may have some questions about the application.
Absolutely. Happy to answer.
Yeah, this is a restaurant? Is this a restaurant or a store?
Oh, boy, it's a little hard, a lot of echo.
Sorry.
Can you repeat the question?
I'm sorry. Is your establishment a restaurant or a store? Convenience store?
Are you a restaurant, sir, or a liquor store, a package store?
No, we are a food kitchen restaurant.
Food, okay.
We're not
All right.
a liquor store.
Okay, so you'll be serving liquor. I getcha. Now I get it. Are you tip certified?
Are you, sir, tip certified?
Yes.
And how many people will be working for you?
Number of employees?
Employees, yes. We're gonna have, right now it's super slow, you understand, everything's closed up, so we have myself, it's my chef, he's also one of the, he's gonna be a manager on the license, and one other person who comes in to help, so 3 of us total right now.
Okay, and will you all be tip certified?
We plan to grow as we, as the economy opens up.
Are the bartenders will they all be, the employees all be tip certified?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. Anybody else have any?
I'm not sure if it's, the committee is aware, so I used to have a liquor license at my former establishment in Belmont about 5-6 years ago.
Huh?
So I successfully operated the liquor license for almost 4 years, 0 incidents, everything according to protocol. So I do have a good track record with this establishment.
Okay, you addressed my concerns. Anybody else have anything?
I just have one question. What type of food are you serving?
What type of food do you serve, sir?
I live in Mediterranean, but it's really world food. Everything is health-oriented, but we are probably heaviest Mediterranean lean because it's known to be a healthy kitchen.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Any other questions? No. Okay, then I guess we can entertain a motion to approve this application for a new license.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. The new license has been approved.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye now.
Okay, and then we have Western Ave, Old School Sports Group, formerly known as the Navigators. They're looking for a new wine and malt license on premises, so. Do we have a chance to look at this?
Hello, Jeff.
Yes.
Hi, Jeff. Jim Lamanna and the Lynn License Commission. Here, how's it going? We're here to review and possibly approve the application by Old School Sports for an application for a new license for beer and wine at 365 Western Avenue. I turn it over to the commission with any questions.
All right. Good afternoon, Jeff. Chairperson Barton. How are you? Do you have any?
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Do you have any issues, anybody here? Any questions?
I don't.
We practically, this is just renew the license,
It's a new license.
because they had a license.
By way of background a bit, there was an entity called Salvi Sports that had a beer and wine license dating back probably more than 10 years. Last year, obviously, was a unique year. There were no fans allowed in the stadium. There was an application that was submitted, but for a transfer of the name into Old School Sports Group. So this application before you is a new license. The license that had existed wasn't exercised last year. I think this commission gave a series of one-day licenses.
Right.
I do want to caution with COVID and depending on the backlog at the ABCC, I would, it is possible that the ABCC will not approve this license by the start of the season. So it may be at the April meeting, it might be best for Old School Sports, just for belts and suspenders, to ask for some one-day licenses once they have their schedule set in place and they're ready to go. But getting this into the pipeline, it makes sense if it's at the will of the commission.
Thank you.
Did you get all that, Jeff?
Yes, I did, thank you. Yep, I understand.
Okay. All right, anybody have any other questions, concerns? I guess we can, I can entertain a motion to approve this one, this license. Application for a new license.
I'll make a motion that we do approve the license, and are we going to use the schedule? They have to come back, or?
Well, they have first off, after we approve it, it will then go to the ABCC, and the ABCC has to approve it.
Okay, I do approve then.
Do we need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, you're
Jeff,
all
you were
set.
unanimously approved, so we'll get this off to the ABCC, and in the meantime, as I said, I'm sure Debbie Ginnivan, when she returns, get in touch with you if need be for some one-day licenses, if this is pending.
Great, thank you very much, everybody, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
You as well. Okay, and then we have Conga Lounge. Continue review of reopening. Contact.
Attorney Les Brantz on behalf of the Conga Lounge.
Hello?
Attorney Les Brantz, Jim Lamanna, here on behalf of the Lynn License Commission for your hearing on the Conga Lounge.
Yes, good afternoon, Attorney Lamont. I'm
Afternoon.
here with Mr. Martinez, watching you on Lynn Cable TV on Facebook, but apparently we can't communicate that way.
No. Okay, so who did you say was there with you? This is Commissioner Barton.
Okay, we're here, Madam Chairwoman, we hear you.
Okay. And who's there with you?
I'm sorry,
Who is with you?
Edward Martinez,
Okay, good.
husband of one of the co-owners, husband and wife.
Okay. Is the Conga Lounge open now?
Question was, is the Conga Lounge open at this time, or does it remain closed from the ABCC disciplinary action?
No, the ABCC said it could reopen. I checked with the Board of Health. Michelle Dismaris said it was okay from their perspective to open. Lisa Tobin said it was okay to open from their perspective. And the Martinez's thought better of it. I told them they were on solid footing because the ABCC had reinstated them quickly in December. But we discussed it further, and we wanted to wait until this meeting as you folks wanted to have a discussion. We're here to discuss it.
Good, thank you. I think the Martinez handled it quite well. Okay, so What is their proposal now? They're going to open as a restaurant, correct?
I'm sorry,
The question,
I can't hear you.
the question
sorry.
was,
Mr. Lamana, can you repeat that?
absolutely, the question is, is the current plan to reopen as a restaurant?
Yes, that's correct.
Maybe elaborate on what the proposal is?
Sure. I'm going to have Mr. Martinez elaborate a little on what they have done to come in compliance and what their plan is.
Okay, good.
Hi, good afternoon, members.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So basically, what we've done is we have put together a complete new strategy for the restaurant. We come up with we come up with a menu, which we believe is going to work. We changed the setting inside what used to be the club to make it more restaurant-like.
Good.
And again, we did everything that the agency asked us to do as far as complying with the COVID. And we're just waiting. We're waiting to hear from you guys and letting us know what our next step should be.
So far, it sounds good. It sounds like it's going to be a restaurant, no longer a nightclub.
Can you repeat that, Mr. Lamana, again? I'm sorry.
Chairperson Barton was pleased that you're in the direction of a restaurant in compliance with the COVID regulations from the governor, and that you're not putting yourself out as a nightclub, which at this time anyway would not be permitted. Do you have hours of operation? Do you have hours of operation?
Well, the hours of operation would be the ones that you guys allow us to do. I mean, from what I understand, we would be opening around midday, and we would work all the time. From what I understand, this restaurant's operating till 1 o'clock in the morning, according to the governor now. So we're planning on doing the same following suit.
I guess I'll give the same just friendly advice that the commission had given to the Eclipse. I'm not aware of many restaurants in the city of Lynn that stay open till 1 o'clock. And part of the demand for food till 1 o'clock really isn't there to justify a staff. And I certainly, given your history of disciplinary actions, we want you to succeed. If you have a reputation as a nightclub and patrons are coming there expecting to encounter a nightclub, staying open till 1, it may be difficult, at least early on here, to tell the patrons that this is not a place to dance and to mingle. It is, per the state guidelines, it's a place to come in, have dinner, have lunch, 90 minutes, separation of 6 feet. I just don't want, by staying open to 1, you folks may be biting off a little more than you may want to choose early on until the COVID restrictions let up. But you obviously know the consequences of further discipline.
Can I just add to that? Culturally speaking, because a lot of our clients are Hispanic culture, a lot of us don't work the 9 to 5 hours. A lot of us work 2 to 10, undesirable hours. So giving them the opportunity to be able to come into our establishment at a little later time is catering to those people who don't work 9 to 5 and can't go to a restaurant at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. They have to go a little bit later. I think if we implement the correct things in place, then we shouldn't have an issue. I mean, we're determined on making it a restaurant and operating as a restaurant, regardless of the time.
I will add that the Eclipse, at the advice of council for 3 months anyway, chose to roll back the hours to 11 as they ease into the restaurant business. It is a much different business than a nightclub business.
Okay, you don't have to hang up or anything. Hold on, I'll just mute you for
Thank you.
10 seconds. Hold on.
Thank you. At least it sounds like they've been thinking about it. They've got a plan.
Would the board consider midnight as closing time based on what Mr. Martinez just presented?
We're giving him to 11.
No.
No, we've already established a rollback to 11 o'clock, and we need to be consistent.
Okay, Mr. Lamana, again, please, sir.
Chairperson Barton stated that to be consistent across the board, the commission is encouraging restaurants, particularly restaurants with discipline history. And obviously, the Congress for a long period of time has been before this board for a variety of violations. To be consistent, the 11 o'clock would be the preferred time for a 3-month period. By June, when the summer is here, even from your...
I'd like to set the record somewhat straight, Attorney Lamont. I don't see a long list of disciplinary actions against the Conga Lounge, other than there was one, and there was the Colburn, which I think a lot of establishments across the state suffered from, with the confusion with the executive orders back and forth and the local orders back and forth. All of those have been complied with, but I think the record needs to be clear that there has not been an adverse history of discipline with the Conga Lounge.
We've had our issues with the Congo Lounge regarding nighttime noise, neighbors' complaints.
I'm sorry, when was that, Madam Chairman?
In the past.
I believe gunshots were a complaint, if Lieutenant Reddy could correct me.
Yeah, we've had several. We've had the incident where the person was taken into the basement there, that was one of the more recent ones from the establishment. We've had noise complaints. We've had overcrowding complaints. I've been down there. I've met with the owners. They should be able to verify that. So we have had a number of instances where
Fights
they've
and
been
video
provided
tape.
guidance and whatnot, and still had violations after that.
But I don't believe, Lieutenant, that those gunshots came from inside the Conga Lounge. There may have been an outside locust type thing around that location, but I don't think it related directly to the Conga Lounge or happened inside the Conga Lounge.
I'm not going to argue that gunshots weren't inside. However, there were people from inside involved, and it spilled out from inside. And this commission has had a history of holding the owners of businesses to a level of what's going on around their business also, if that disturbance stems from their business. But they've also had issues and violations inside. Again, I've met with the owners. I'm sure they can tell you that. I've spoken with them a number of times in regards to some of these issues.
Okay, I guess it begs the question then, if we're going to keep it at 11, that's consistent across the board, it's just not the Conga, and as things loosen up, is it the board's plan to then go to midnight and then ultimately go to 1, or?
Apparently you missed the part of Attorney Lamanna's telling you that we would invoke this 11 p.m. curfew for 3 months, and they can come back in June and we can revisit this.
And it's June, all right, April, May, June. Okay, that works, Madam Chairman, that would be a good way to try it.
I thought that was a good idea, Attorney LaFrance.
At least get them open.
Okay, so I guess we're ready to, I am ready to entertain a motion to allow the Conga Lounge to reopen.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to reopen the Conga Lounge for 3 months probation period, closing at 11 o'clock. And I would also like to have the owners forward a menu for our review.
Second.
All in favor?
Can I ask a
Aye.
question, Madam Chairwoman,
Ye-
before the vote's taken?
Yes.
To clarify something, thank you. And again, I apologize because it's difficult to hear sometimes. Is this everyone in the city that comes before you now is going to be told 11 o'clock? No nightclub, restaurant only, other places. I know you had the Eclipse there before, but there's plenty of other so-called clubs in town and restaurants. Are they all going to be said the same thing, 11 o'clock?
Only if they come before us with disciplinary issues.
Last month, there were two today that were on the agenda because of violations of COVID, the governor's COVID rules. No business in Lynn can be a nightclub. I can, right now, regardless if they've been before.
We understand that.
So there are two today that have never been a real restaurant before. The board has asked at 11 o'clock for a 3-month period where they've had some discipline. Not many places have had discipline since March because most of the places have been closed, so their records are pretty clean.
Okay. I would ask then if you believe strongly that there was prior discipline or what have you, to please put that in your decision today, that we can open and open till 11. But please give the reason and the decision, Jim, when you write out the decision. Attorney Luana, I'm sorry.
Yep, nope, absolutely.
Okay.
Member Phelps had asked just for the files. Your client forward a copy of the menu. We'd asked the Eclipse to have an updated menu. I'm not even sure if they had ever had a menu before, to be honest, at the Eclipse, but a menu for the file. Yep.
We'll provide Debbie, I presume, with the menu?
Yes, she'll
Yes.
be returning Monday. I'm just filling in today.
Okay. We also found out a piece of trivia today that the chairwoman was Mr. Martinez, social studies teacher at Eastern Junior High. So we don't want to place any ages on anybody.
Mr. Martinez ever disciplined back then?
No, there was no discipline. No, he wasn't like me with the Mr. Lamar.
Touche.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so thank you very much to the board. We'll wait for your vote, of course. I think we understand you clearly now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and then moving right along. Okay.
And just for the record, I believe motion that was seconded and
Yes, it was.
all-
You're right. Yes, it was. Okay, no communications and no police reports?
I've sent over, you know, what, because Deb's up, maybe they're not
Right,
taking the.
yeah.
There was one on Ethos, the marijuana distributor. on-
Yep.
Really had nothing, it was someone was, it was a fraud type of scam type thing based on their cash, but, and there was no discipline. They did all the appropriate things. I think.
Okay, all right.
I'm sure that's probably downstairs.
Okay.
And there was one other, Mama Blanca's, I think, on
Oh, really?
Oxford
No, I
Street.
didn't see that.
But, same thing, there was someone intoxicated trying to get in.
Okay.
And the police response was because he would not go away, and they called, they had done the
They did the
appropriate
right
things in that
thing.
case. too.
Okay. All right, so no new business, no old business? So, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Always in order.
Thank
Thank
all.
you. Okay.
See the complete layout of the house and the garage.
Well,